All right, we got a Class C Condor right here. That's what we get. Look at there, there's got to be about 5 pounds of that great die core. And even at that, you can see that hole right in there. See it? You just got to keep mopping and mopping and mopping this stuff on. And somebody put some silicone on the side, peels right up. Don't use silicone. Got a leak right here. I'll just see if that little leak. And someone put this wire in here. Serves for that satellite. You can see all the issues we got here. These are where all your leaks come from. So what they want you to do is go around with some more die core and keep mopping it on, mopping it on, mopping it on. It just doesn't work. This is one of my places I find common leaks. Water gets right down there. And then they start rotting everything out. Let's see what we got here. See, no sealant. So it'll trickle down there. And it just trickles down inside that hole and rots that out. This seems pretty solid though. But even with, look at that vent there, plenty of product on there. I mean, it's just mopped on. You can still see you got all these tiny little craters and crevices. Look how slammed down the air conditioner is. They have trouble draining right there. There's a drain underneath here. Right about in here somewhere. There's a drain, but once you get dirt and pollen and everything in there, it can't drain because it's all clogged up. And then it'll back up. When it backs up, it'll get right back down into the ductwork inside there. And then you got a leak. But it's a leak because that can't drain. You can get some more of these craters right here. So we're going to obviously peel this roof up and replace it. We got another little wire down here. See all these little holes right there? That's a leak right there. You got some fracturing right here. Look at these ones around the refrigerator vent. That's what this is. Refrigerator vent. Right there, you can see those cracks all around there. Got a good one right here. Now look how much that is. All right, let's just take a gander at this. I'm just curious how wide that is. It looks like it's about 1.5 inches to me. Yep. You got 1.5 inches of caulking on that thing and it still isn't staying. That's because it's a sealant. Sealants do not work on roofs. You need something to adhere to it. Something that will adhere and keep it from moving as much as it does, because these flex a lot. But you can see that pretty good gap, how it's right there. So that's definitely a leak. Let's see how much protection is on here. Looks like we got some issues here. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that. Back on it a little bit on the camera. That's rotted right there. We'll see what problems we got under there. Another leak right here in the corner because they don't put good protection on there. Let's just see what they do have in there. So you got this sharp edge from this metal right here, or the roof deck, excuse me, the roof deck, and then all they did was try to put some tape on, and the tape didn't even make it, so it just breached that. You can just tear this right apart. That's all they did. It's just tape right in there. There's some more right here, you can see it. That just failed and fell down in there. We're going to put a whole buffer strip on there, protective strips, which will be the same product. It'll be a 60 mil protective strip. We cut it out of the same roll. The rolls are 10 foot wide. This camper is probably, about 99 or 100. So instead of throwing that stuff away, look at this whole roof deck is lifting up on me. I don't know if you can see that. So we're going to see what's the matter with it, but you can see it lifting. Roof decks, we'll have to check that out. Another hole right here. And this is why you need that. EPDM rubber shrinks. That's why I don't like EPDM rubber. And I've done commercial roofs for 30 years. That's one of the reasons I've never installed one roll. I was always busy fixing them. People put them down. They're just a fickle animal to work with. To me, they're just not even worth the money. It's literally the cheapest product on the planet. And even at this, there's some more rips, and it'll shrink. And when it shrinks, it stresses this out. When it does that, then you get these little tears. Another vent. Look at this big old strip right here. And you can see it didn't even bond. See that? Didn't even bond. Look at there. Whole thing came right off in one shot. Let's see if we can get this right back. Get our corners back. Look at there. Got the whole corner of that thing right there. It's not even bonded to it. All right, they leak. Get another one right here. Another one here. See that one? They were moving too fast with the camera. Right there. Here's some failed sealant right here. But if someone were to look at it, they'd think that that looks pretty well sealed. And it's just really thin too. They didn't really put a lot on there. We do two layers on this. We do the 2 layers because that one will seat right in there. One's a real thin one like this, and we'll overlap it. We may even drop this down just a little bit to here to meet that. That'll give us a little bit more ledge to put some caulking on it. We'll see how it all works out. Make sure it all lines up okay. That one here in the corner of this transition, there's a sharp edge right here. Yeah, sharp edge. Let's see what's under that. Piece of metal. Piece of unprotected metal. Right there. Look how sharp that is. Staple in there too. That corner is what I felt right there. The corner's got a burr in it. The corner of that metal, it's got a burr right there. I'm trying to see if I can show you that while I hold the camera. See that little burr? Well, just that little bit caused your roof leak. Rot this out. I just can't get over how much they have on here. Let's check this one. This is that self-leveling stuff. Wow, look at there. I'll turn the tape around so you read a little better. 3.5 inches of caulking on there. Put a 2x4 width of caulking on there. That ought to seat her right. Just terrible product. It is. This is what you get in an RV center. They put it on the same exact way as they did. And look at how it smothers all the way down the side. Right there. There's a hole. Right here. Right in there. There's a hole. It's not even seated. Actually, you can see further down in there. They slobbered it all over the lights. Look at all these lights. That just looks terrible. Definitely not a professional job. We got, I don't know why that seat, it looks like there may be a crack or something there. We'll take a look at it and see what the problem is on it as well. And but I mean, there's just a ton of this sealant on here. The problem with the dyed core as well is that it's a siliconized product. Silicone doesn't stick to silicone. Doesn't usually stick to rubber very well either. That's what all this is on the side. But don't use silicone. If you're doing one yourself, do not use silicone. Get a better sealant. We use urethane products here, but you have to be careful what you use. Make sure it's compatible with this. Look at all these little slits in here. Well, this ain't definitely seen its days. All this mold sitting in here. This is terrible. Can't really wash it. The more you keep wiping on it, you get all this oxidation on your hands. Keep wiping it some more. Get some more on your hands. You wash it down. You could put a floor buffer on this thing, clean it down for 3 hours, get it spick and span, and then you wait another day, come back up, try to put that coating on it, and you're going to have problems. They're just going to oxidize right back. I don't know if you can see the pitch on this, but what's happening, you can actually see that wire, how it goes, and then it looks like it drops down and starting to walk this way. So that air conditioner is seated that way, but we're going to prop it up so we can get some water to flow, because now you get water coming in the back as well. We're going to get that up. We're also going to make some special boots for your satellite right there. We'll make one for the TV antenna, the radio antenna, that there, get it out of there. When those things, when they stand up as you're trying to get some reception, they walk back and forth, and even in the slightest breeze, and it compromises the seal on the foot there of the plate. So that's why we don't like those. Also, a lot of them are so old they don't really work that well. You're better off putting like a wine guard or something else. It does look like it has a digital receptor right there, But if I build a curb for that, I'm going to raise it up. There's a shaft that goes down through this ceiling. When it goes down through the ceiling, there's a little crank that you use to raise it up. But only bites about maybe 3/8 of an inch or so, maybe a ½ inch. And if I raise that up to get it out of the roof line, that shaft will be up inside the ceiling cavity, and you won't be able to get the crank back on. So for those reasons, we can't make that. You'd have to try to take the whole thing apart and put a new shaft down inside it. And this here is loose too. I have a funny feeling that somebody probably put another roof on this. And we're gonna yeah. There's your ply foam roof. So this has gotten obviously some damage in it. But you can see the foam under there. I don't know if you can see all that white. That foam is all delaminated. So we're going to have to peel this up and put a new roof deck on it. On here. That's no good. That's all rotted. So that's about us. So we'll give you some more updates as we peel the rest of this off. Right now, all we're doing is trying to get everything off the roof, get it stripped, see what's going on with it. And then we put our little blocks in here so we don't step through them. And, you know, to protect the inside as well. Once we get all the blocks in and get the roof off, we'll end up tearing all this off, the decking that is. Tear the decking off, we'll relaminate it back together. But it looks like that may be the profile of the roof, and that's the way it's supposed to go. It's like this and then down, and then just roll out. That's what looks like the profile. So, but it still doesn't help that AC out. Like I said, we'll keep you updated on the rest of this here. But I can't get over this. One shot right there, just peeled right up. Look how clean that is. I don't know if you can see any reflection off of there. Yeah, you can. You can see the shadow. If that had stuck, you'd never see my shadow on my finger right there. Not at all. You'd see some adhesive stuck to that, but it just doesn't stick. Yep. Anyhow, we'll keep you updated. There's another leak right there too. You can see it. There's our Condor here. You notice this is the awning. So when we take that off, I'm hoping that it's not going to fracture, but we haven't even taken it off yet. We haven't done anything. So you get a lot of fractures in this awning. I don't know if they're going to replace it. You can see, look at this one here. We just open this side up. Look at all that. I don't know if you can see it. We're going to show you all this. Look at all that. You can, it's all rotted. The whole thing is all rotted. You can see how it's pushing down. You can tell, look at that water jug right there. So it's not even stuck to the foam. It needs to be stuck to the foam. All this is rotted in here. Whole thing. Back at our Condor. This is where the satellite was, and that just pulled right up. I'm surprised it didn't blow off while traveling down the road. It just popped right off. So we just got all the decking, the rubber rather, we got all that off of there. You can see where most of the damage is. We're gonna have to replace that and relaminate it. We got some damage over there. Also around this skylight. This is what I keep telling people. You need to have curves. You cannot put the roofs down this way. It does not function right. You can see all this just lifting right up. Look at it. It's ready to pop right up. It's already delaminated right off of there. So the plus side is we can just peel that right up and then get some new down there, some new decking. But it's that bad. Even around the plumbing here, you can see all these, that's why it all leaked. It just failed. So we'll get all this squared away tomorrow. We just wanted to give you an update on where we were at. Obviously we'll clean all this stuff up too and get the whole thing done, and you know, we'll relaminate it back together. So that's where we're at so far. So you need these curbs. You look at a commercial roof has curbs. Air conditioners up on a curve. The skylights, the vents, when you have plumbing like these, they come up, there's a boot, just like the boots we make, and they're poured in. Years ago, they used to do the tar and gravel. They used to call these little pockets pitch pockets, because that's what they called tar, and they'd pour it in and around here in the boot, but around the pipe. So this way, it would prevent from leaking, but it was still up and elevated, you see, and you need to have that. If you don't have them, that's where your leaks are going to happen. It doesn't function that way. You can't just put it down here, slather it with caulking, and call it done. It doesn't work that way. This is our Condor Class C. If you can see how much of a dip there is over there. I'm not talking about the guy at the end. I'm talking about the dip in the roof. You can see it here. You can see how it just kind of falls down. So we're going to see if we can straighten it out. But some of the other stuff we noticed, you see very little adhesive on here. And actually all that pitting in there is due to basically an incompatibility of the adhesive they used. Interesting. But something else we noticed. There's a little truss out here. We go all the way down here. 62.5 inches is how far they are apart. 62 inches apart. They're 1 inch. So that's the center on them is 62 on this one. And this other one down here is, hook that for us. This one here, what do you got, like 47 or so? They have 46.5. So when you put a sheet on here that's 4x8, which is what they had 4 by, this is 100 inches long, so it's 4 foot wide though. So where was it breaking? It wasn't. You couldn't get a break on it. And those were some of the lifts we had seen up underneath the roof. We had some concerns with it. So we're gonna have to get creative and figure out how we're gonna strengthen all this up. I don't know if you can really see how bad this is, but it has got a heck of a sag. I mean, it's really starting to fall down that way. And then it rises up over there, up on that plywood. Then this is one that they did. So we just pulled these up. This is how easy they pull up. They just pull right up, see? And this one's loose. See that truss right there moving? This one? That's not even secured in there. And then they had that, there was a piece of metal, and I showed on the other clip that was here. And the reason that metal was there, let's see all this ready to pop off here. This metal was in here to tie these two together. You can see how that's moving right there. They didn't want to screw them together or even cut it at the right angle. They just put them in there and they ran that piece of steel on there, that light gauge piece of metal, and then they just stapled it in. You can see all they did was staple it. And that was that. So it didn't even hold. They had that on top of here. You can see how wide it was. Right there, no glue on it at all to even give it any strength or to absorb the shock of the coach racking a bit. So we're gonna see what we can do to pull this back together and get it a little tighter and add some strength to it and take out some of those sags. Then on this side, it drops down this way, and then it also shapes down this way a little bit. So we're gonna see how good we can get that to look and be symmetrical. Some of this we may just have to do by eye. Probably run a string line all the way down and just see if we can at least get the center even. And if we get the center even, then the fall should be the same over here to over there. I doubt the walls are that off that they wouldn't be the same. So, but that's some of the stuff we have to address. You can see all this foam right here just fell in here, and that's probably for a light. There's something up underneath there. That's probably a light, but it's not even, you can see it pops right up. Well, they just really slapped this one together. On some of them we see 2x2s, they just use 3/4 board on there. All around here, all around the air conditioner, all around the vents, they use 3/4 board. Even around this vent right here, 3/4 is what they used. And that's it. And we got a wire, which is really weird, that they, I guess that was the only option that they had. They had that digital piece, the digital antenna, the receiver, right there. They had that mounted up front, but I guess this is the wire so it can serve back here to, you know, this bedroom, to this bedroom back here, I'm sure. So they just dropped it here and they ran it all on the roof. You can see they just glued it all the way down on the roof. So we're going to see if we can figure a better way to run that. We may be able to run it right up through here, maybe. And what they did over here, there's your power that goes in there. That's your, looks like a 120 line right here. But what they did was they cut right there, cut that truss, which it just lost some strength. They just cut that. So, and that's about all we're at right now. And we'll give you a better update. You may be able to see that slope right here. It's just remarkable at how much of a wave it does. These are a Condor. Ooh wee, look at there. I think we got a little bit of rot going on here. We're gonna have to tear all this apart. See what we can do.
I'll have to take the bottom turn bar off.
I'm gonna try and get that dried out. See what we can do with that without tearing all that. It seems pretty strong, it's just wet inside there. Well, probably got some problems up inside. That's sopping wet way up inside there. You probably can't see it with the camera, but it is. It's sopping wet. See all these rot right here. Ooh. I think we just went through that. Yep. We're gonna end up rebuilding this bunk. Well, there's our bounder update. What we're doing now, we got as much as we could on here, loosened up, you know, and gotten the fleece is what I'm talking about. We got all that as much as we could removed. Now what we're doing is rolling out the glue. Then once we get the glue to flash off, then we'll roll the roofing over. As soon as we get the roofing rolled over, then we'll take the big steel heavy roller and we'll roll it down with that. That's what we're doing, getting a good coat of glue on here. That's where we're at right now. Just got some, kind of hot in here. We got these fans, kind of help it flash off a little quicker. Quiet on the set. We're here with our Condor. That's what this thing is. We already showed you some updates on this. We're trying to show you just how much we've got. You can see that string there. And what we've got is some big dips. Let's see if I can see the way the roof is. Let's see if I get this tape measure out here. Give you an idea of the drop. Right there is about 3/4 of an inch. But over there, this one is a lot more. The tape measures an inch. And there's about an inch right there. And then you go way down there. Way down there, it drops quite a bit. That's significant down there. Let's see how that is. So our goal is to get it back to reason. And you see this section right here is higher than over there, but that's higher. So we're going to try and get it to balance out. We're probably not going to get it back exactly, but we're going to do the best we can. You see all this moving right here.
I think we need glue over there. You did it just before we walked in.
You
jack it a couple times, let it go.
You can see how much we got here. This whole ceiling is loose. Again, like I said, this is a 1 inch tape. So we've got just about an inch right here too. Probably a little better than an inch. And on this side, that one's all dropped quite a bit more. I can show you if we can. That's quite a bit more. That's about 1.5 inches right there. So we're going to jack it up and see what we can do and get it to be right, and then see if we can get it reframed. But you can see also the little trusses they got going across here. This one was way over here. This is about I think I measured 1 or 2 of them. They were about 62 inches apart or so. This may be that one. So we got to add a couple in here at least to get some strength on it. These things aren't strong enough. A lot of people like aluminum. They say, I want aluminum frame, but they don't weld them all. They don't weld them. It's not like they just got that little booger weld right there. See it? That's it. It's not like the whole thing is welded. And those things pop. And they drill holes through it. They don't protect these holes, so we're going to have to figure that out as well, so we don't end up with breached wires. And like this one here, even though this is aluminum, this is not even joined together. So, and yeah, it's come off. You can see inside there, there's not welded down there. At least with the wood frame, you got heavier stock to put a screw to, and this is really thin too. You can probably see how this is kind of bellied in, but this is be more frequent for screws to pop loose than it would on a wood frame. So if they made them better and used a better stock of aluminum, it would probably be better. But you can see that one's not welded right. Here's another little tiny little weld there. That's just the way they do them. They just want to get them out. Here's another little weld on this side. So, same thing. So you got it welded there, and should I show this other side? This other side is not welded. It's just tagged on one side. It's just a little spit of a weld on there, just on one side, just to hold it in place. And they expect everything else to pull it all together. So, but we're going to try and see if we can straighten this out. You can see all these blowers up here. We had to dry this thing out quite a bit. It was that wet. Dried out for, I don't know, about 4 or 5 days. It was loud in here with all these blowers going, trying to get it dried out enough for us to work with. We'll keep you updated on this Condor. More to come. Stay tuned. Also hit subscribe. We're working on this Condor. You can see that big gap right there. That's what we're trying to do, is get this back. Got a heck of a sag. We're back here, this Condor. We've got these pieces fit in here, these new trusses we made. One of the things we came across, see there's a ferrule right there, that steel one, there's a ferrule. And you can see the wire has been just getting chewed up. You're supposed to have those little red inserts on there, so it protects it from the ferrule, but no one ever puts them in. So that's what we're doing now, get those in. And then we've got our new trusses we cut. We put a few of them in because it was sagging so bad. You can see which ones we got down there. So now we're going to get ready to put some decking on, glue it, and fasten it all down. All right, what we're going to do now is we're strapping the roof. We're going to have straps that'll run all the way down. That's what we do. Now over here, I wanted to show you this. This is your ladder right here, and this is all the RV industry does to put your ladder together. You got this cheap little piece of aluminum. That's it. That's supposed to hold. There's no stock in there at all. So once it goes through that little bit of aluminum, it's just glued on there. That's supposed to hold your ladder so it doesn't pull out. That's crazy. We got a new roof deck going on here anyways. It'll be a little bit thicker because of the span and everything and how much trouble this has had. So we'll put that down and it'll have a lot more strength. It'll be a 7/16 board is what we're going to use. So then all we're doing is making sure this fits right now. Where that collar right there, make sure it fits in that slot. It looked like it was raised up. That's why we want to get that adjusted. So that's what we're working on right now on this old Condor. Okay, so far on this Condor, give you an update. We've got straps running all the way down, these steel straps running all the way down, pull the whole roof assembly together. They're all glued together. We've staged our decking, and now we're going to laminate it right back together. And we've got this is the same foam as here, is right there in those hoses, right there. So we're going to literally re-foam this all back together so it bonds right in there. Okay, so we've already got a couple of sheets laminated down. Take the lock off and fire away. What we're going to do is glue everything all together. Get some here. Load up that edge. We didn't put anything in there. There's product in there. We got a board. Get some under there. These are the bands we put in. Give it some strength. Then we fasten her down. This will thin out. That'll bond it all back together. It's going to be tight as a drum. Condor. We got the bottom in. Let's see, we got this top here. We got another piece we're going to fit in there, but she's coming along. We'll have to shave this side down right here that you see. We'll shave all that down, get it to fit nice. Molding will go back on it, the corner mold. There's also a lid that goes in the front of this. So we're starting to pull it together. This is that little Condor Class C, the one that we redecked. We also got the new sheathing behind here, and we're going to relaminate all that back together too. Obviously cut the window out, put the window back.